I'm on the Great Stones Way, which for me runs from Coatswater Country Park down to Salisbury. It's 46 miles plus extensions takes it up to 53 miles. There seems to be quite a few different ways of starting it, one of which is at Banbury Castle, which would take it down to 32 miles. But so far I'm at a place called Washpool, going into Chiseldon, and it is extremely pleasant. It really is. I'm planning to walk this over 2.5 days with 2 nights of wild camping. First night, I know where I'm camping. Second night, could be interesting. We'll see how that goes. So that was the first climb of the day. So I thought I'd take the opportunity for shade and a seat. And not a bad view, it has to be said. Just come up to Avebury Hill. That's where I've come from. Well, this is what the Great Stones Way is all about. Stones. This one isn't that ancient. It's actually been put up to commemorate 2 local writers, apparently. Alfred Williams and Richard Jeffreys. There you go. And we carry on up this way, and I'm going to join up with the Ridgeway at the official start of the Great Stones Way. I know I've walked 7 miles, but that extension is only to allow you to get here from Swindon. Walking on the Ridgeway, you do get some amazing views. Don't know if you can read that, but it says Avebury and the Wessex Way. I'm now leaving the Ridgeway and going down into Avebury on what's called the Avebury Loop. Avebury Loop. Basically to see some earthworks which date from 2600 BC. So it's quite old. I'm not expecting them to be in pristine condition. Apparently they're a World Heritage Site. Not bad, is it? Right, this is the Avebury Earthworks, which apparently was originally lined with 98 stones. The inner and outer stone circles still exist. I don't know why, but I wasn't really expecting them to be that big. The little ones mark where the stones would have been. And you got the larger ones that are still in place. This is the south circle. Just outside Avebury, you've got Salisbury Hill, the largest prehistoric man-made structure in Europe. I think it's fair to say nobody has a Scooby-Doo why it was built. Avebury was really nice. I managed to get some water, and they got toilets and stuff, and cafe and shop, which was really nice. But if you didn't manage to pick up any water, you're walking beside the River Kennet here, which looks really clean. And as I pull away from it in about a mile's time, I probably will fill up my water filter just to make sure I've got more than enough for tonight. I've got about 3 or 4 miles to go now, so it's all going well. Considering how busy it is in Avebury, it's quite amazing that I'm at less than a quarter of a mile outside and there's nobody here. People just don't want to go past the car parks, which is all good for me. Onwards. Oh, that's East Kennet over there. And I'm now heading off into the countryside. My plan is to take the Alton Barnes horse loop and find somewhere to camp on that. So I won't actually get to Alton Barns before tomorrow. But that's fine. It's very peaceful. I don't think anyone's going to be disturbing me while I'm wild camping tonight, that's for sure. Good day. Nice to see all the historic things. Easy path. I've been using a guidebook, which I'll pass comment on at the end, but so far today it was really good. Yeah, look at that view. I get to wake up to that. Right, time to put up the tent. Well, the tent is all set up. It's time for a bit of dinner. But I don't think I've actually ever been in a better wild camping spot. But yeah, look at that. People pay a lot of money for that. Well, welcome to day 2. And beautiful it is. Yeah, had a bit of a fitful night's sleep, but not bad at all. No condensation in the tent, but hardly surprising as I had all the doors open. And I've got a beautiful view this morning. Bit of a croaky voice. Been doing some first aid training recently, so a lot of talking. I'm about 50 yards from the trail, so it's not going to take long to get going this morning. It's just coming up for 6, official sunrise. I think the sun's already risen, to be honest. Bit of breakfast, get the tent down, truck on my way. Doesn't really get much better than this. Perfect start to the day. Just drop the trekking poles. The Alton Barns horse. If you want to see more about the horses, I did do the White Horse Trail a while back. I'll put a link up at the top. Beautiful view out. One of the advantages of actually using a guidebook, which I don't normally use, is you get to find out about these things. All Saints Church is very pretty. One thing that Alton Barns does have, which I've never seen anywhere else, is these stiles. The Martinhenge Loop. I think you need to brace yourself for the majesty that is Martinhenge. Yeah, that's it behind me. You might get a slightly better view over there. If you are underwhelmed by Martinhenge, then, well, you should take a long, hard look at yourself. There's no stones. It's not a World Heritage Site, that's for sure, and it certainly doesn't have the facilities and majesty of Avebury. To be honest, had I not known that it was a henge, I could have just walked over that. Oh well. Right, I'm currently climbing up onto Salisbury Plain and the ranges. But basically today I've walked from, I don't know if you could see the horse right over there, but you can see where I camped last night. And I've walked through this plain, but not in a straight line. I've sort of done a bit of zigzagging and stuff like that. It is hotter than it has any right to be in March. So I've walked about 7.5 miles so far, and it's 10:30ish. So not bad. I've just collected some water from a very dirty puddle. I'm hoping that I don't have to chuck it through my water filter, because I've got no idea what I do to my water filter. But I also don't want to run out of water. So there we go. Joys of walking. Just found a farm barn with a working tap, so I took the opportunity to have a look at my feet and get some blister plasters on there, because one of them has got a blister. And it had fresh water, which I still filtered, but yeah. So I'm feeling quite refreshed now, and got loads of water. Got another bit on my bag as well, just in case. And this is Enford. The second crossing over the River Avon. Looks slightly cleaner here than it did at Easton. You do have a bit of road walking after there, about a mile, kilometre and a half, up to Coombe, where you come back out over the River Avon again. Those dogs are probably barking at the fox I've just seen go across the path. But yeah, it's the first bit of decent shade I've had all day, so this is nice. Yeah. Oh, do something then, Goosey. People think it's a picture. Lovely open countryside. Just coming up to the point where I take the Stonehenge Loop. Got about 8 miles to go for today now. Right, just starting the Stonehenge Loop, which is about 8.5 miles. I'm going to camp somewhere on it, and this is the last water point, so just filled up. Potentially it does mean I've got to carry 2.5 litres of water for 6 miles, but I really haven't got a choice. There doesn't seem to be anywhere. That bridge there on the map is labelled as a tank track, and as if to confirm it, I've seen 2 tanks go along. I think there's another one coming. I've never seen so many tanks. I think there's about 7 I've seen in total now. The good news is, not only did I get the water, it doesn't feel as bad on my back today, and I managed to get off that tank track between what seems to be quite a few tanks coming along, and they kick up one hell of a lot of dust, so I'm glad I'm nowhere near it when they come past. Right, that's Woodhenge, which, unlike Martin, at least they've made an effort. The concrete blocks represent the wooden posts that used to stand. It was built in 2300 BC. So, nobody's obviously got a clue why again, but there you go. That's Woodhenge. Better than Marden, not as good as Avebury. Now we're on to Stonehenge. My plan for walking up to Stonehenge tonight was revised. I can see it over there. I'm probably about 1.5 miles short, but this came up and it's just too good to pass up really. It's getting on for 5 o'clock, so it's a good time to stop. I've done 22 miles today. It's been a good day. It's been a hard day actually. There's been a lot of track walking. It's a lot brighter on that screen than it is in reality, I'll tell you that. But there we go. Just beginning to get a little bit chilly now, so oh. I've got a couple of visitors. They're wondering what this nutter is doing, that's for sure. Oh, that's a wonderful end to the day. Right, I've left my campsite because I thought it was lovely. It was a bit of a frost pocket when I got up this morning. And now we can see over there Stonehenge. I'm hoping it appears on the camera. There you go, Stonehenge. Built about 2300 BC and was once owned by the Antrobus family, who sold it to a gentleman who bought it for his wife She didn't want it, so he gave it to the nation. I know this because my mate's called Roger Antrobus and he tells me about it all the time. But there you go. It's very big. You can see those people just on the side there. Yeah. So chatting to one of the myriad of people camped up at the in motorhomes and the like up at Stonehenge. I've had it confirmed it was at least -3 last night, but I think my side of the field was actually a little bit less than that. So yeah, sleeping bag did well. Crossing the A303. Walkers with the nerves of steel need apply. The guidebook says take great care. Take great care and run, it should really say. It's been a lovely walk back down towards the main path. I'm just coming up to Great Dunford now, and this will be the end of the Stonehenge Loop. Finally lost the sound of the A303, which is quite nice. But yeah, now I've got 4.5 miles down to Old Sarum, which is officially the last leg. Should get down there easily in a couple of hours to Old Sarum, have a spot of lunch, maybe try and dry out my tent a little bit, and then toddle off into Salisbury. It's very pleasant. There you go, Old Sarum. Originally an iron fort in 430 BC, but it has been modified. The Romans used it in 43 AD, and at the time of the Norman conquest in 1066 they also put some moat and other stuff to it. So right, so that's that, the end of the Great Stones Way. This is the official end at Old Sarum. There is an extension which goes over to the cathedral, basically to get you back to public transport. It has been a really good walk. Wild camping it is possible, even around Stonehenge. But without this book, it would not be possible. This book has actually made it more enjoyable. It's pointed out things along the way, but it's also meant that I could navigate it, because especially the loops, there is no GPXs for them. Right, I'm off into Salisbury, catch a train, and toddle off home. I hope you've enjoyed this. Next month I'm on the West Highland Way. Another video over that one. Until then, keep safe.